A major day on the East Coast as the storm Sandy, Hurricane Sandy, is battering the East Coast with 65 to 75 mile per hour winds. And, of course, the storm here in the greater Washington, D.C. area is going to move inland and affect just a massive area of the East Coast from New England all the way down to the Carolinas with hurricane gusts, and unprecedented in American history, the East Coast history, to get this kind of a storm. Right?
Class 1 storm, right?
Pretty amazing.
And
storm.
what I like to call a first-class storm.
First-class storm.
Yeah.
And
perfect storm, Mike. We're all hunkering down.
Yes, we are here. We should point out that we are taping this show at 10:30 Eastern Time, and
we taped it last Thursday.
We are dedicated to you. I'm frankly very, very nervous about everybody because I want to get these shows in the can, and I want to send you boys home.
You don't want us stuck here.
Buzz already indicated that there is some standing water in the area.
There is, and I have a special message for motorists. If you're going to drive slow, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that in weather like this, I think there's a threat of hydroplaning, so you want to be careful out there. But if you are going to drive slow, stay to the right so that emergency personnel and radio personalities can get through it. Thank you.
Emergency radio personalities.
Also, turn on your lights.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, just because it's the daytime and there is a little light, turn on your lights.
Also,
That's all you have to do.
you also want to turn on your windshield wipers because the water on the windshield, it prevents you from seeing.
But I think the most important thing to point out here is when we're talking about storm preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
Is it preparedness or preparedness?
I'm going to say preparedness.
I think that makes it more urgent.
That is correct.
You know, you guys are talking about on the roads, your lights. You're some of the few people that are out and about in the Washington area that are driving to work.
It was a ghost town.
And I'm a little bit racked with guilt because I'm in my living room and I'm doing it. I go downstairs.
How was your commute?
My commute was I was soaked.
Were the stairs wet?
I was. The stairs were wet and I was soaked, but that of course was incontinence when I came down here. But really, storm preparedness.
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 I think we really need to emphasize
preparedness.
Fine.
Yes, Oscar.
Just quickly, the lady says as I was driving in is that there's a possibility of this Category 1 hurricane going to a Category 2.
That is correct.
That's
the
right.
latest.
Or something.
Which they said could happen, and that's a mind blower. And, how it's going to affect coastal areas, they're already seeing that. But here in Washington, we're expecting amazing amounts of rain, very heavy wind. You shouldn't be, unfortunately, like my colleagues here, you should not be on the road. And if you are at home, I hope by now that people have heeded the warnings. And, like every broadcaster, I have to give you the list of things that are required.
This was sent to you this morning from the National Weather Service. They know our code.
Stuff you're going to need.
Now they overdo
I hold in my hand.
They overdo it. I think. It's just my opinion.
Really?
I get in trouble. Every year I say that, I get in trouble because they say, oh, Mike, you're low-keying that. No, what I'm doing is I'm doing my job as a journalist, as a broadcaster, to edit the list down.
We're erring on the side of, or they err on the side of caution.
And what people should know, this is not just something haphazard. This is, Mike, this is the National Weather Service.
This is the National Weather Service, and what I've done is...
Official document.
Out of a list of maybe 50 items, I've just pared it down for you so you have the
main things.
This would be time to pay attention.
Please, and I want to make sure that I tell everybody this in our listening audience. I don't need the Facebook messages from you to tell me that you knew what I was going to tell, because there are people that are going to hear this that have not heard it.
That's true.
Don't have this list.
That might not be available. If you haven't gotten these items yet, you might be screwed because I think most of the store shelves will be empty. But if you feel like you can get out just before this thing officially nails
There's still time, Mike. There's still time.
Now, the items that we've talked about in other storms, we really haven't had a direct hit like this, so I have this list handy normally, but not for for us, because on the East Coast we don't get these.
This is not the same list that you've had on the fridge with the magnet for years.
No,
this is a new list.
This is a new list.
They revise it.
The National Weather Service.
Government agency.
These are the items, first of all. Of course, it's Post-it notes, cheese, pens, cough syrup, forks, Annalise, Raid, paper cups, placemats, varnish, a medium-sized stick, paper napkins, glue.
Oh, Mike. My stick is big.
Okay, well, you deal with it.
Whittle it down.
You got to look. You have to know you have to improvise too.
Right, exactly.
Well, with my background in theater.
Now, here's an important thing: two, not one, two corkscrews.
Oh yes.
Plastic coasters, various vases, tissues, chili powder, nectarines, an alarm clock, some wooden spoons, and of course, it goes without saying, but you need to have this canned fish.
Yes, of course.
I'm set.
Classy.
What to do? And
this is part 2.
If you have a pen or a pencil, you might want to write some of these things.
Preparedness actions you might take.
What's great is that the list had pen and Post-it, so if you're already on top of it, you're ready to go.
Interesting that you're holding that up. This is the obvious stuff. Fill all your coffee cups with soup. We all know.
We all know that.
Make sure that your pets are bathed.
Spayed.
I made a mistake previous storms.
I know.
I know.
We all remember.
Oh, the smell.
Make sure your winter coats don't have any receipts from last year. We all know that you can get Mr. Leave receipts in your coats. How much did that screw you up?
All the time.
I know, and you kick yourself
because they get all wet.
He says, "I don't know what this cab ride was."
Secure your bacon. Put all of your corks away. Clean out your utensil drawers. Make sure you put away anything made of leather.
Right.
Keep all of your sponges slightly damp, and of course, clear your screens.
Yes. Oh, please.
Put some pillows under the dining room table, and if you can, and you have time, and you don't have an area with lots of trees, tie a string around your mailbox if you have one.
Right. A string or a mailbox?
Mailbox. No, you tie the string around. Don't kid around.
I'm just trying to keep it light. It's very tense here.
This is time for comedy.
This is one day I would really appreciate you more than anybody else appreciating the grandeur of this storm.
We're
That's probably not the word on
We're trying
You're
to help
asking
people.
for too much. He's wearing cargo shorts
I
and
know.
Birkenstocks to a hurricane.
But he's the first one. He's the first one that's going to go home and tie a string around his mailbox.
He's right.
Am I right or wrong about
You're
that?
absolutely
because
right.
I listen to National Weather Service documents always.
Thank you. Now,
always.
If your socks are in separate places, I'm talking dress and athletic.
Yes.
You need to move them into the same drawer. People forget that almost
this is
Put them
key.
together.
Right.
This is key.
Stack your cushions, bag your fruit, soak the bread, clean your granite, and of course, roll your towels.
Please
Roll your towels.
We don't want anybody hurt.
We don't want that to happen. Now, if you have time, make sure your car has an air freshener. Even if your car has no appreciable odor, you will thank me later.
An ounce of prevention, right, Mike?
It's as important as washing your pets.
Thank you. A lot of homes also have paper towel holders. You're going to want to have those handy, especially if we get the 6 inches of rain that's expected here.
You have 2, so good job.
I do? Well, I've always had 2.
I know.
And you know why.
I think I do.
Gather all of your envelopes. You can put them in the first floor bathroom. Apartment and condo owners.
This is for you, Oscar.
Apartment and condo owners, you usually have those little closets in the hallway.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat all your meals in there.
No.
Yeah.
If you have to have peanut butter, and who knows, we have peanut butter fans in our audience. We've known that.
Avoid it if you can, but if you have to have it.
Avoid it altogether. That would
really?
But no, I mean that's what I would tell people.
Okay.
Jeff?
But you know that it doesn't matter.
Skippy?
See, you're getting into brand names and you're confusing.
Well, I know that the National Weather Service would never break it down to brands, but I'm trying to talk to the people.
Well, I'm trying to provide a public service,
Don't
and I
bog this
know,
down.
you have a mocking tone, and I don't want to hear about Jif or Skippy. I'm talking about any peanut butter. This is not about the recall.
Peter Pan.
If you have to have peanut butter, that's okay. But really, make sure do not eat it with wheat bread before you check the barometric pressure. Now, after the storm,
this cannot be overemphasized.
You want an accurate reading?
Excuse me, am I being doing a comedy routine
here? That would be
here?
a rookie mistake.
It would be a rookie mistake.
And he always laughs at carbs.
Yeah, he does.
Now,
carbs amusing.
What we are listening to, Mike, this is an official document.
Storm preparedness.
National Weather Service.
After the storm, you're not out of the woods yet.
No.
After the storm presents a whole bunch of other problems.
Yes.
So make sure you have your after storm kit ready as well.
Now, do you have any tips?
I have the items that they're not tips, Rob. They're items that I have.
That's right.
But thank you for that.
This is preparing for the aftermath.
Just want to get through the bit. Thank you very much. I have. Let me start again.
Okay. Please.
After the storm, Rob Spiewak
Michael Vera.
presents a whole bunch of other problems.
Yes.
So make sure you have your after storm kit ready with sunscreen, inner tubes, crackers, aloes, scarves, Nair, whiteout, Bisquick, a yoga ball, those little slippers.
Yes, of
You know
course.
those things.
Yeah.
Funyuns, electric shave, Sharpies in various colors. You had one
I have a green
earlier.
one.
Keep that with you.
Right.
A good strong onion, Legos, Brillo pads, various sweaters, and of course all your bling.
Keep it together for after the storm.
Safety first.
And please remember, even after the storm passes, you will still need to drink as much Diet Mountain Dew as you can. Thank you.
You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomara.show.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Oh, Lisa, there's no record of a hurricane ever hitting Springfield.
Yes, but the records only go back to 1978 when the Hall of Records was mysteriously blown away.
What is it, boy? Fire? Earthquake? Hippies? Hurricane! Somehow the animals are always the first to know. Okay, it's the standard grandpa drill. Everybody into the cellar.
It's dying down.
All clear, everyone.
Dad, no! This may just be the eye of the hurricane.
Relax. Can't you see how eerily calm it is? See, I told you it was over. I don't remember a bowling alley being there.
Dear God, this is Marge Simpson. If you stop this hurricane and save our family, we will be forever grateful and recommend you to all our friends.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Speedwagon, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Live from the Cappy Piper Studios, it's America's most beloved podcast, the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded more than 15 million times, and we are heard in 150 countries worldwide. You can call us.
No, not today.
Yeah, today I wouldn't mind hearing from somebody today. 718-506-1625. That is the number to call. It is Monday, October 29, 2012, Hurricane Sandy Day, biggest hurricane to hit the East Coast in maybe history.
Ever. Yeah.
Our show today is brought to you by the customized life-saving courses from Northern Virginia Community College. NVCC offers American Heart Association courses in Manassas, Loudoun, and Springfield, but they can also bring those courses to your business, and the courses can be tailored to your schedule all in one day or spread out over several days. To get life-saving training for your business, call April at 703... What?
Hello?
703-822-9040, and like them on Facebook at NVCC AHA Training Center. Let your employees take a class to save the life. Our opening vignette today was brought to you by...
By the way, NVCC classes canceled today because of the hurricane.
Thank you for the
Just
update.
So you know.
Thank you.
Our opening vignette was brought to you by Vistaprint.com. If you own a business, you know the importance of networking and professional quality business cards. Do what millions of business owners do, and do what we all did. Use Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint has thousands of designs online, or you can upload your own artwork. Vistaprint now has an improved card with heavier stock and no price increase. Listen to this. Right now, get 250 of these cards and free shipping for just $10. That's half off the regular price, but you have to enter the code TMOS in the search bar in the upper right-hand corner. Check out their whole line of printed products. Again, for half off those premium business cards and free shipping, enter the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com.
You know what's amazing? You can design anything you want with your own picture, and you can do it in 5 minutes.
So
and
very
they have
cool.
it to you in like 5 days. It's
still
incredible.
Blows me away when I think back to what business cards used to cost to get done, and it was a big deal, and
It's
you had
called
to
bone.
wait all the time.
Cillian Braille.
Cillian Bone. Man, how did he get such good taste? On the program today, I've never enjoyed a shower more than the one I had this morning, because I'm wondering whether that's going to be my last.
The
one
last,
for a
I
while.
know what you mean.
Got the tub filled up, got everything, got the water jugs that are ready. I mentioned this, we'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to cover the headlines first. The weekend, 18 hours on the road in 2 days.
Good job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When I spoke to you.
And I'm sick.
Last evening.
Oh, no.
I spoke to you last evening. You sounded a little keyed up.
Yeah, I'm a little keyed up. Campaigns, a little piece of advice for them today.
Good.
I am flashlight ready. Global warming, ? The Malbec Express arrived at my home yesterday. The
Great
Pigeon
song by
Sisters-
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
The Pigeon Sisters are here and drinking. Let me see.
How did you?
Carla
How were
and
you,
her
able,
mom.
how were you able to ditch them for the show today? I would think that they would want to be here.
Carla and I are similar. Carla literally is 60 seconds by foot across the street.
That's right.
That's where she works.
She's very
She
close to
works.
work.
Her new office is literally across the street from us. So she's in working today. She's getting it done, and her mother helps her out over there. So the Pigeon Sisters are
Helping
over
her
there.
out.
Oh, they're probably there. They're probably wine bottles all over the office.
Clink, clink,
If
clink.
the other people aren't there, they're probably just
Clink,
slamming
clink.
them all down.
It's a party.
My crew, first of all, dedicated. You're all dedicated. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, you guys drove in. You tell me the streets are abandoned, correct?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nobody's driving today.
Yeah, and it sucks. It really does. I thought it was good. I really thought it was gonna be no big deal, and then when you get on the road, you're just like, this is not good.
No, and you know what? There is
that's the first thing I said.
Last night, all our texts were
that.
like, yeah, whatever, yeah, we'll see you at 10:30. Oscar's like, let's do 2. Yeah,
Why
no
not?
problem. Come on in.
what it is. It's eerie.
And here's what's also eerie.
It's very eerie.
Even though we do the show from a house, we are sequestered in this little room with the curtains drawn.
Yeah.
We got no idea what's going on outside right now. And the fact is that every so often, even though we haven't hit the real sustained winds, we're already getting the bands of wind, and we're getting the steady rain right now. You can tell that the rain's going to be, this is going to be a big rain event.
Well, you know what it
and
is,
a
Mike.
snow event, which is a snow event actually.
For some, yes.
Maybe even in our area,
We'll
we
get
might get a
flakes
little
tomorrow.
wet snow.
Yeah, because Mike, it's Frankenstorm.
Frankenstorm. And you know, we are the ultimate cynics.
Yes.
And as I said on my Facebook page this weekend, I had that nagging feeling of
I think we all did.
of all the weathermen, and just really wanted to say, oh.
Do you miss when we were kids, and I think to a certain extent when Mark and Oscar were kids, weather happened and it was a surprise?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't always know that there was going to be snow,
It
and
still
now
is occasionally.
Occasionally,
This
but
one we knew about.
7 days out. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to sort of wrap your head around, and also it's just too much time to worry.
Yeah, that's right. The build-up.
Well, the preparedness in a
like the
storm like
election.
this is going to save thousands of lives, I believe.
Yeah, I think
sure.
you're right.
Yeah, and is Lowell down in Ocean City?
He is. I haven't heard from him ever since.
Yeah,
he left
weather
there.
sucks.
it's
nothing's going on. I hate it.
Lowell Meltzer has been swept away.
Yeah.
And do you know that really, even though we sound pretty normal and things are going good here now, we are never more than 4 days away from cannibalism in
Yes.
this room.
Oh, the zombie apocalypse follows this storm.
So be very
yeah.
careful about all these things. Strings on your mailbox. And
I think there's something to keep in mind. My father, who's an epidemiologist, would fly around the world when natural disasters would happen,
Right.
And whether it was a hurricane or earthquake. And he called me last night from Bolivia. He said, "Look, I'm looking at what everyone else is looking at," and I said, "Well, I don't really buy into the hype. I've been watching Breaking Bad on Netflix all day."
Good.
And he said, no, seriously.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my dad for years has always thought I was just like kind of joking about I don't care, and I really
too
didn't-
laissez-faire
Yeah, I
about
really
these
didn't.
things.
I really didn't care about.
You don't care about anything.
I know. I didn't even go. I didn't go to the grocery store. You know what I went to the grocery store for? I got some wine, we got some yogurt, and we got some candy. And that's it.
You care
and
then.
rolled out. And I have like one candle from last year in my house.
Do you have flashlights?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So
it's a sex candle.
as I was talking to my father, I said, "Well, what's the real situation here?" He said, "What people don't realize is one, that a storm hitting this side of the country and this far north it's not like South Florida. South Florida has been bombarded by this forever.
They always get hurt.
So they have rebuilt and restructured their infrastructure to deal with this.
Yeah, the eastern seaboard, my home state of Connecticut, they're talking about many homes that are going to be swept.
And and also Connecticut got hit a year ago.
Yeah, it did.
Was it Irene?
Irene.
And that was weird because they didn't expect it to hit Connecticut. And Connecticut was the hardest hit.
Mark, would you be a dear and go into the kitchen? Sure. There's a light with a strap.
Okay.
Oh, I have one of those.
I want
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's my coolest little Costco treat.
The fleshlight?
No. I'll show you
Everybody
what it is.
should,
fleshlight is like your
everybody
sex
should
candle.
have one of these. Everybody should have maybe a couple of these.
That's right.
I think.
Buzz.
And then, Mike.
Buzz, I picture you are completely prepared.
I
You have
am.
like flashlights in every room.
Oh yeah, yeah, big ones.
that's
Mag
smart.
lights with the big
He has
batteries.
2 manual can openers in every room and stacks of tuna.
I have not distributed them yet. I
That's any
have
day.
filled my tub upstairs with
Can
water.
I borrow one?
Yeah, you can. As a matter
I
of
just
fact.
need one flashlight.
I'll give you one.
Oh, thank God.
I have one.
take
I
home.
have one in the car.
I
I
was
could
gonna
give
try-
you. You don't have a flashlight in your car?
I got nothing.
You see, there's Oscar. He doesn't care.
And a word about the wind that'll probably. It'll probably take down the power lines.
Right.
I noticed you've taken some of the campaign signs out of your yard. I did the same because those
First
can
thing I
become
did.
projectiles.
Yeah,
in the
I
wind.
And
I
incidentally,
didn't think I need to take
to
mine
the
in.
Tim Kaine campaign, thank you. Thank you for sending out an email. Now, I thought it went without saying because I had the big, but it's the only campaign people that I hear from and they said, take your campaign signs down.
Right.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Done and done.
I got a call from Comcast that said, if power lines come down to your neighborhood, don't play with them. I said, thanks. Thanks for that.
Mike,
Actually, don't even get near them. Anywhere near them.
what Mike has on right now is what I could best describe
Website picture, please.
as a Mission
Hello.
Impossible
That's
flashlight
blinding.
that straps to his forehead.
For our Ustreamers, I'm going to do
That
my
is pretty
impression.
amazing.
I'm going to do my impression of a theater opening.
LED lights.
That's a row of 4 lights.
That is pretty cool.
And not only does this
Where
have
do
you
buy that?
Costco.
Did
Wow.
you? Is it like a
Costco, Home
2-pack?
Depot.
Costco.
Is it like a 2-pack of them, or are you allowed to buy just one?
No, I got 3.
You have 3.
You do
I
have
have
3. Oh,
Now,
my God.
I've
in
got
different colors.
one for me and the Pigeon Sisters.
Uh-huh, right.
You know what? And
But here's what's great about this. If it's nighttime and the power goes out,
Yeah.
you just put this on your head. You don't have to worry
You
about
just walk
holding
around.
anything. And you
Hands-free
have your
light.
hands free.
And after the
I don't want
hurricane-
to kill that battery.
After the hurricane, think how that's going to reinvent excitement
Hi,
in the
everybody.
bedroom.
SOS.
Warning.
Jesus, what is this? It's like a
This
Vixen video.
This is if I'm walking along the street, people can see that I'm
yeah,
I'm here.
people can see you're an a-hole.
It's me, Mike
From a
O'Mara.
40-foot distance.
Help! Help!
We're out of wine.
Somebody open a liquor store, stat.
Those are great to have.
I'm under the weather, and I don't drink when I'm under the weather, so I can't enjoy.
What
the
are your
storm.
symptoms?
Just got a little chest thing. And,
Oh,
what you had?
I didn't give it to you. He swore to me it was not contagious.
Really?
Yeah, but I had the greatest doctor's appointment on Thursday.
Did you really?
I went in. Now I've got my mysterious ENT from another land, Mike. Very mysterious. But my father and I have given him lots of money throughout the year because I get pneumonia about every 2 years, so I spend a lot of time there. And my son goes there as well, and my
Fun.
dad is great. And so he worked me in. I called him in the morning. They said
You what?
I called him in the morning.
That sounded like
Still dealing with a slight infection.
Okay, very
I
good.
called him in the morning, and I got the receptionist, and I said,
You're infectiously funny, Rob.
"Oh wow, Mike." But you know what? Even without that headlamp, you light up my life.
Did you know it was going to be cold today?
I know what the temperature
But
was.
you really are wearing cargo shorts.
You
and
know- you know
burgers.
you're
Yeah,
not as
and
big.
do you realize it's 48 degrees and not blizzard, and you're wearing Nanook of the North coat? The truth lies in the middle,
I'm
Oscar.
protecting my chest.
Yeah, that's great.
Maybe you should do a little more of
You
that.
know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe
Yeah.
if you thought about what you wear when you go outside in the elements, like a little kid, you would take care
You know
of
what,
yourself
Mike?
better.
You're right. And Oscar, good luck with your candle.
Button up your overcoats.
No more flashlight.
I call up and I say, when is the soonest I can see Dr. Mushtak? They said, a week from Friday.
Dr. who?
Mushtak.
Oh.
I didn't know I was going to reveal his name.
You're making that up.
You did reveal Dr. Mushtalk.
Mushtak. He's great. He's really the best EMT.
there's a little problem in your lungs that we're going to have to attack with a series
What he's more like this. Oh, hello, my friend.
Well, hello.
Oh, really?
You are an excellent healer, my friend.
So he's like the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Would you like a cocktail?
That I watched on 60 Minutes.
I call
Hi
it
there.
a mushtak.
Yeah.
But I get a call back. They saw that it was one of the Spiewak boys, and they got me in that day,
Oh, that's
which
nice.
was fantastic. And I got in, and they got me out of the waiting room in no time into the exam room. And, I waited in the exam room 48 minutes, and there's really not a lot to do in there. The best discovery is that how they have brochures? That's,
Right.
is this right for you? Is this right for you?
Right.
There was a dead stink bug in one of the brochure holders, so I got a chance to get a photo of that.
I do have a view out the window, and everything looks pretty cool right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Is it
Good to hear.
does the air look purplish? It gets purple.
No,
like
no, it's we're seriously. The reason we decided to do a show today is we're being told like 2-3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
is when we'll get the first bands, but the real heavy stuff is going to happen overnight tonight.
That's right.
5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
So I know kind of what it feels like when an infection is coming on. So I was very excited to get in there, and he comes in and I say, "Hi, Dr. Mushtak." I said, "I've got the biggest business trip of my year in about 2 weeks, and I've got to be ready for it.
Right.
I can't have anything lingering." He says, "Well, let's have a look, my friend." And he goes in and he does this thing where he dilates my nose with air and some sort of medicine, so everything is just dripping down my face. He says, "Now let's have a look." Pardon me.
Oh, there it is.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, there it is.
Want to borrow my coat?
Let's have a look. What, to spit on? So let's have a look. He says, "You do have an infection, my friend. What a marvelous infection!" And his assistant, who sometimes comes in and takes notes, he says, "Claudia, you wanted to see an infection? Come see this infection."
Really?
And they are both looking in
That
my.
would have freaked me out.
I've got my nose back, and so they're looking straight into my brain. And he says, "I want you to notice the oatmeal-colored pus discharge.
So gross.
This is an excellent infection." And he said, "How did you know you had an infection?" And I said, "Well, not to be too gross, but the flavor of my phlegm changed."
Oh, God, I'm going to throw up. That's so gross.
He said,
You are so gross when you talk about stuff like
he
that.
said, That is very astute, my friend.
Oh,
It
my
is.
God.
He says infection has its own distinct flavor.
Oh, God.
And odor.
I don't want to hear about it
It's
anymore.
And he said, we're going to give you a thermonuclear attack. So I'm on 4 medicines right now. And,
Really?
And I feel, even though I have expectoration,
Yes.
it's breaking up. And he's very smart. He took me off my allergy meds. He says, that's going to work against your drainage. The allergy medicines will just dry you out.
Drainage.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Rob, I swear to God, I feel like I'm going to boot.
Yeah.
right now.
No, but think how much better I feel. Isn't
so-
that great?
I'm glad.
I'm
happy
on
for you.
Levaquin, but it makes
I'm
me a little
happy.
dopey.
And I could go see a physician today, too, because I have health insurance.
Oh my God!
So you're back to voting for Romney?
I want to thank a guy that actually has the
Jesus.
name of a cartoon character, James Elmo.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Jim Elmo, who I think a guy in his 60s up there in Connecticut. I'm going to give his number next week.
Yeah.
Or when I get it. I didn't write it down. I should have done that because I'm going to give him a free plug.
What's his name?
Jim Elmo.
Oh.
La 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 la, la 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 la.
Health
No wonder
insurance.
you like him.
Yeah, so I got it. I
That
got
is
it.
fantastic.
Congratulations.
I
Mike.
actually found out when I was down in Haiti, and then they confirmed it over the weekend.
They said you're in Haiti. Forget it.
Yeah.
Underwriters for these dicks are professional. Call you at the wrong time.
Oh, they know what they're
They
doing, yeah.
literally are. They call. It could be any time, morning, noon, or night. But they call you when you can't take a call. They call at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
At 11 o'clock.
Right.
I think a phone call at 11 o'clock for business is people in radio. When did they come alive? When did salespeople come in? 4:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
Isn't that when they? Oh, I've got things to do now
Right,
because
right,
tomorrow I will have not done it today.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Jesus
That's it,
Christ! So they
exactly.
call at the wrong times, and I'm on the road
I will
going
have
up
not
to
done
see
it today.
my dear mama, and so they call there, and I'm with my kids in the car, and I'm getting all this sign by phone thing taken care of, where
Sure.
you can actually
Wow.
confirm to them and the legalese. And there's a guy working for this insurance company that says to me, "Hey, you got to do this. Here you go. So you got to sign off on this." So I got my insurance.
Good.
If my right knee, which I injured and had surgery on,
Right.
if there is anything wrong with my right knee, it is not covered.
It's on you.
If there is anything that has to do with sleep apnea, it is not covered.
Okay.
They went almost as far
Any
as to
blood
say,
disorder?
at my weight and everything else, it's covered. But I mean, it's just. You
had a bunch of clauses.
The legalese that I waded through, and I'd like to say on behalf of this guy Jim Elmo, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for the insurance company that is insuring me now. Hey, fuck you, just
Hey.
like everybody else. You
Yeah,
suck.
the big
You're
guys.
all about the American dollar,
Right.
and kiss my ass.
What is-
I don't
is-
give a shit whether you're insuring me or not. I'm sorry.
What is Elmo's title? What does he do?
He's a broker.
Okay.
He's an insurance broker like Buzz dealt with. And, oh my, thanks so much for allowing me to pay almost $500 a month
Yeah.
to not be covered by anything.
Welcome
you
to the
dicks.
world. Yeah.
This
Screw
comes,
you.
It's the same thing we've said about banks in the
Yeah.
past, but on a much larger scale. People forget that banks, you're paying them the privilege. They need to be our client, and
Yeah.
we always feel like we're
Not
their
insurance
client, but
companies.
not insurance companies.
So for the record,
So my buddy Bill, who I went to Haiti with, who actually gives a rat's ass about
Right.
people and takes care of people and is in the insurance business, is going to review it from head to toe
Good.
and see if I can do better, because he thinks I'm getting screwed. And he's
Nothing wrong
Do
absolutely
you think
right.
Nothing
that
wrong with that.
now that you've got your foot in the door with one carrier, do you think you have a position where you can better yourself?
It's the way it works.
I guess.
It's the way
Yeah.
it's the way the game works.
Right.
If you're covered by somebody, then they all go, "Oh, they covered him.
Right.
Well, then maybe we can cover him.
Maybe
and-
we can
and-
get again.
Maybe we can get that money.
Get
Right.
that money. Put it in your
Exactly.
pocket.
Now
It's
they're
such,
interested.
such a
If-
ridiculous asshole.
If someone like-minded like Nancy Kerrigan, would she go for the left knee or the right knee? Which one's the bad one?
She'd go for the right knee. for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
And it's just. It's a relief. It's a relief just in case anything were to go down.
Yeah.
I spent like $250 to go to Haiti with this temporary medical insurance.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Temporary
just to
insurance.
cover my
Right,
ass,
right.
and do this. And it really is something that, I have no level of gratitude at all
Oh, you shouldn't.
at the end of
No
this
need.
process.
They have none.
I have a level of gratitude towards this one broker guy
Right.
who was so empathetic and was so honest.
Talked you
and,
through it?
And walked me through it and was very upfront about the fact, we'll see. He said
Helped him find a way.
He said 50-50. So we got a 50-50 shot, and he said they're going to rider you to death.
Right.
They're going to put riders in it because they, God forbid they spend any money on you at all. And so, but the regular doctor's visits, if I get the big casino, if I get
Right.
the big heart attack, I'm covered. And you know what? It's just, that's a relief. But at the same time,
We're sorry, Mike. You have knee cancer.
here's what you're going to hear. Here's what you're going to hear the people that want to screw you, say, okay? I don't care whether they're Republicans or Democrats. This is a political angle you hear. You don't want anyone to get between you and your doctor.
Right.
When you hear that, know that you are being categorically lied to.
Manipulated.
And you know what? It's very well
because-
crafted because it almost sounds like something that makes sense.
Right. The
Almost.
issue in American healthcare has nothing to do with doctors and has nothing to do with patients. What it has to do with our insurance companies.
Right.
Pure and simple.
And by the way,
yeah.
I read an interesting article this morning that said the insurance companies are actually a little nervous about the prospect of Mitt Romney being elected.
Okay.
Because Obamacare is already set. They've already made preparations. They've invested money. They know that requiring everyone to have insurance will bring them more money, and they're afraid that Romney will make that go away.
You know, you don't know. I mean, you really don't know what the situation is going to be. But I will tell you something that it is still very much broken. If you had listened to what I had to listen to when the guy was going through the riders,
right.
it was hysterical. It was so cover your ass.
Oh yeah. Sure.
More than, and I've signed a lot of contracts. I've dealt with a lot of attorneys. I have my whole life.
Yes.
And
contracts.
you know,
and stuff.
contract,
Right,
broadcast contracts.
Right.
Sure. You know, it's like indemnity.
Brand info.
And then you listen to this guy reading it, and that it made it almost more special that the guy is reading this thing, and he's going on and on and on about it. And you know, I'm like, yes, I have no choice. That's the only people that would insure me.
Right.
So you know, I dealt with one guy who was a broker, and even though he's part of the system, he really did give. You know when somebody cares, legitimately cares.
Brokers can be very
and
helpful.
you know, as soon as I got the guy on the phone, he goes, "Hey, I listened to your show."
All right.
And as soon as I heard that,
what
to
a
me,
relief,
and I'm sure you all feel the same way.
Yes.
That's just kind of a tell that they really do care enough to, you know, see what you're all about.
But
and
then
what
he
you
said
do.
that the show was not covered. Nothing related to the show.
Nice guy, Jim Elmo. I'll
That's
give you his
awesome.
phone number if you know somebody that's out there. He said,
Good.
I said, what can I do for you? Can I write a letter to your people? He said, no, you can refer me, and
Yes.
you know, and I will refer him because he's
That's great.
really, really nice guy, and so that's over. But it's just an ordeal, and my heart goes out to people with much more pre-existing crap than I
Right.
had, and you know, at the end of the day, no feeling of triumph, no feeling of satisfaction, just relief.
Yeah, that it's over.
A
Just for
push.
now.
Maybe a push. You just it just
A
was.
wash, yeah.
It just feels.
But thank God, though.
I feel violated. I feel really, really screwed. I feel
You
like
shouldn't
I
have
went
had to go
this.
through that. You shouldn't have had to go through that and not get everything you wanted.
You know, at least when they take your passport with Homeland Security and they put you in a room and don't tell you why, and you
Right.
sit there and then they give you your passport back and they still don't tell you why. At least then you know. Well, these guys are chartered with protecting our country from
Right.
people that are from the bad people.
Yeah.
Right.
So I walked away and kind of went, you know, that put the indignity down a little bit for me. With this thing, I feel completely indignant. I feel completely violated. I feel as though the American dollar, capital, it has become, this is one area of our lives, and I've said this before, where you've got profit as such a motivating tool. You know, you've got profit is being takes priority over people's lives. Yeah. And, you know, in healthcare, I just think that's wrong. And if you ask me what's wrong with our healthcare system, that's why. Call me a socialist.
Look at you,
That's
you
why-
socialist with a
that's-
bad knee.
That's why I think the profit should be taken out of this. And listen, when you hear people say, oh, no, they'll screw up their relationship, we'll have the best healthcare, all this is lobbying from the insurance companies.
That's what it is.
Don't be a fool. Understand the way this works. The people that you hear, the magic box that you turn on to watch Glee and find out is peppering you with this brainwashing. It's the truth. And when you get into the system and you're an eyewitness to it and you experience it, you suddenly know what it's all about.
Right.
And it's them. It's their money. They make astronomical, mind-numbing
money.
amounts. I use mind-numbing probably during this whole healthcare thing more than anything. They make so much money. It's
Your numb
sick.
mind is not covered.
It's just sick, and I think that it ought to be with education.
Yeah.
And you know, with healthcare, we
absolutely.
really ought to be, and our senior citizens, we ought to. God damn it, we ought to be taken
Couldn't
care
agree
of.
more.
You are such a socialist.
I'm a socialist. I don't give a damn.
Be proud.
You think I'm a socialist?
Nothing wrong with
Sal,
that.
not
Hallelujah.
socialist.
Hey, should
Stalin
I
or
take
Khrushchev?
a call from 410 because
Yes.
that might
Yeah,
be
why
somebody
not?
in the storm?
It's
be
Lowell
important.
complaining.
Could be
Let's,
important.
Why did
let's
you
go
take
to-
my call?
Let's go to. We got a break soon, but let's go to area code 410. What part of Maryland are you in, my friend?
Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia. Okay, so anything going on up there?
No, it's pretty quiet, but I wanted to call you about the health insurance.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Mike, I had the same problem that happened to me probably 4 months ago, and they tried to tell me that I was denied for pre-existing conditions, And I wanted to know, how long have you been without health insurance?
Probably September 30th. That's when mine lapsed. September 30th.
So about a month, almost.
If it's within 90 days, there is a letter that you can get from your previous health insurance that says that you were covered under the previous health insurance for those conditions, and the new health insurance is supposed to cover you because you were covered within the last 90 days.
Ooh.
Now, is that
That's what they told me. I ended up getting that letter, and I was covered for both Lyme's disease and fatty liver.
Wow,
that makes
that's
sense.
amazing. That's
That makes
that's a
sense.
good
Good
little.
DJ.
That's a good. And Rob,
I got it.
All Rob heard out of that was fatty liver.
Right.
That's
Hey, it's
all
because,
Rob heard.
It's because I got it, baby.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the tip, and I wonder if it's retroactive. I'll, my insurance guy. It was funny when you're in Haiti and you're doing the good work, and he says, well, "Why didn't you call me?" Thank you for the call, my friend, and weather the storm. Okay.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right. Thanks for the
That's
call.
pretty cool if that
That's a
works
good
So
out.
here it is that you don't, everybody's got their little, if they dig and they were, Buzz went through the mill
I did.
trying to get his.
I found a good broker,
Nobody's
too.
out there, this is where it gets into, there's not, well, if you do diligence, you'll be able to get your health care. Yeah, I worked hard to get it, and I went
Took
through
a
a lot
month.
of, but it's ridiculous how much, you shouldn't have to,
work that
No,
hard.
you shouldn't have to
No.
go through hoops. We'll take a break. When we come back, more fun and more thrills as we batten down the hatches and deal with Storm Sandy. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. Hey, welcome back, TwizGrid.
Hey, great!
Our show is brought to you by TwizGrid. TwizGrid. I'm a little under the weather today. TwizGrid is a free app for your iPad or iPhone that displays Twitter photos in a user-friendly format. We're going to be using them when we go out to Reno.
That's right. Fantastic.
Which is really almost just like 10, 11 days away.
Close,
That's right.
baby. Very close.
exciting. TwizGrid, an official sponsor of our Reno stage show, and you can use it to watch us behind the scenes, and you can use it for your own events as well. To join us backstage in Reno, just open the Mike O'Mara Show album with TwizGrid. You don't have to have a Twitter account to see the pictures.
Right.
If you do have a Twitter account, you can post comments on your photos, on our photos rather, and be part of our latest live show. That's TwizGrid, TwizGrid. Find it in the App Store or click their ad on our website.
It was so
Thank
much
you.
fun in Maine. I'm glad they're back because what happens is eventually we start using it against each other.
As a weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
And we are winding down to Reno. Mark Ronick, everything going according to plan for
Yeah,
Reno.
I have some things to discuss with you guys. Just last minute details for us to go
Circus is canceled.
Yes, that's correct.
Other than that, we're all set.
We're back to the State Theater.
We're very, very excited about that, and we are back dealing with the storm of the century. Oscar did mention something that we should be very aware of. But, you hear us talk cynically about weather forecasters, and I mentioned that it's a nagging feeling of mine, but, tough to ignore a storm when already you're saying part of the Ocean City Pier.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone,
Wow.
and there are spots in D.C. right now just because it's an older city and the way it's laid out.
Whoa, it's a swamp.
That are underwater.
Right.
When I was just driving down here, my usual path, I had to veer off for a good 2 miles to go past a road that was already underwater.
Yeah.
Just because of the way it's set up.
And it
scary.
hasn't started yet, guys.
No.
That's the creepy
Right.
thing.
That's
Even
what's amazing.
started.
I'm blown away by that.
So to
Campaigns, I wrote this down. Okay. In the Northern Virginia area, in the Maryland area, effing stop. Take them off.
Yeah, take a
We're
breather.
done.
Stop.
Really, we're done.
Pull the
Stop
ads.
your ads for now. Suspend
Couple
your
of
ads.
days.
I will respect the first campaign that decides to do that. It just doesn't make any sense to me that I'm watching, you and here's what Romney did, here's what Obama did, here's what Kane did, here's what Allen did. Please stop. For now.
Have you
for
seen-
now. You can go right back to it as soon as we get through this, but I just find it weird to be watching those ads. Made me kind of
They've gone to an alternate plan. Obama has a new deal out now, and it's I'm proud to be your president.
Yeah.
And it's very calculated. I'm sure that now he's going to that tack.
I love the X Factor ads with Simon Cowell and Demi
Yes.
Lovato.
Yeah, they're funny.
But I sit there and I'm
yeah.
like, thank goodness
Somebody's
someone's
making
trying to
fun of
cash
it.
I'm
in.
Simon Cowell and I approve this
Yes.
message. Yeah, that's clever and it's glad. But I mean, really, it's just stop it.
Yeah.
Take
Quit
a
it.
break.
He could use the breather anyway.
And I just want to say that I am respectful of the president who's staying at the White House, and I hope he does stay at the White House.
Yeah.
He's got something to deal
He
with. Romney, hey man, what's that?
That was
Oh,
an
that was a little
ambulance.
Emergency.
ambulance going by.
EMS.
I have a question for
Wow,
you because
that was
you
it.
are.
You're not going to hear that. We heard pretty loud siren
Yeah.
like right outside our door.
Buzz is very politically savvy, but you, of all the people in the room, you're the one that likes it as a game the most.
Yeah.
And I have a question. Do you think there are people in the Obama camp that are right now saying, if we nail this hurricane, we've won this election?
I don't think so. I think that the pundits will tell you that something of this nature benefits the president when the election, when the campaigning gets disrupted.
Right.
This is really, though, he has to be
press conference.
president.
He did the press conference, and it sounds like that, to me, if they get the preparedness done and they dodge the bullet as best they can and they're ready for it,
right,
it's going to make him look awful good real close to the election.
It's important that the president remain to appear presidential, but both sides have said publicly that neither one of them thinks that anybody's going to win or lose any votes based on the storm.
But there's got to be slimy people that say in private that this is good for us.
Well, on tomorrow's show, Rob, we will have our election day predictions.
Mm-hmm.
A week out, we're going to have our
early
election
voting
predictions.
started.
Yeah, and they've suspended that in Maryland with the storm.
Mike, you were talking about how everybody should just stop and they're campaigning right now, and it reminded me. My parents went to dinner with a couple that they're good friends with, and this couple they're very pro Obama,
right,
and they're I think a part of the campaign. They're helping out, and they're going door to door to remind people to vote.
Right.
And my dad was saying, do you really think that's going to make a difference? Do you think that by knocking on somebody's door and saying, hey, don't forget, voting's a week away. I'm curious. What do you guys think? Do you think that people, is it worth doing?
I'm weird because I get calls from the campaign all the time because
Right.
I've supported the campaign for so
Right.
long. I get calls to come down to the center and do that. In 2008, I did involve myself with that. In this election, I have not. I've chosen not to do that. They've got a grassroots movement here in Manassas that does it, but I don't know. I mean, there's
Your parents' friends, are they Virginia people or Maryland people?
Maryland.
Because I could almost see it in a really tight race like Virginia where just a few extra dozen votes might make a difference, but I don't think Maryland it's that tight.
No, I don't either.
If you're knocking on my door and you don't have chicken pad thai, then I'm not talking.
Yeah, it takes a lot for those people to do that, and you know what? I respect the people that make the phone calls and do that, but I will tell you, between the campaign ads, living in a battleground state like Virginia is, between the campaign ads and looking at my email.
Oh my God!
It really is.
5 or 6
it's
a day,
become
right?
insane.
Do you love the ones that are from Joe Biden and the subject line is, this looks bad?
Yeah, I know.
This could be trouble.
This is trouble. They're just relentless.
That sucks.
I'm going to be so relieved when it's over.
Yeah, we all
I
are.
really am going to be
Everyone
so
will
relieved
be.
when it's over, and we'll see. And whoever wins, wins. I'm trying to psych myself into being not being an emotional wreck if my guy loses.
Right.
I don't know how good I'm going to be at that. I'll probably come in, if that's the case, Wednesday as an angry guy. But you know what? Then we got Reno.
Let's do
so
two
it
on
doesn't
Tuesday.
matter.
Let's do 2 on Tuesday
Yeah,
next
right.
week.
No, we will,
Just in case.
We could get another Sandy, and we'll be in here on Wednesday.
That's right.
We have to be in here on Wednesday.
Right.
But for now, it just seems to me you could use that campaign time to be putting on informative. And speaking of radio, I told you I drove 18 hours in 2 days going up to Boston to see my mom over the weekend.
Right.
Radio is... It's official. It's always sucked to a certain degree.
Yep.
Management and everything else. And we were part of it for a long time.
Yes, we
This
were.
might be sour grapes. We still are part of it. We may be part of it again.
We're
But
part
the
of what
fact
made
is-
it suck, Mike.
But let me tell you, as a medium that is designed to get information out, when you travel the country, the wasteland of garbage, of crap,
Not all that
and
helpful, is it?
specifically of sports punditry.
Oh, yeah.
We are so screwed as far as really getting information out.
Right.
We have a couple of news stations here in Washington D.C. Because one had an astronomical ratings and another one decided they were going to do that.
Right.
And I'll give them credit. At least we have that. You travel up the Eastern Seaboard.
Doesn't exist.
You get out of WINS, which is the best
Yeah.
news station in the country,
Rockin'.
bar none. My wife didn't understand it when I was listening to a traffic report on WINS,
Right.
and
digging it.
And he got done, and I said, "That's an artist."
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I was like, "What do you want to tell the George Washington Parkway coming around town?" And it was like he was so phenomenal at it.
Wow.
And then you get down to WTOP.
So you say
Well, how about that storm.
So the traffic reporter on WINS, he would not be described as Augustinian?
No, not verbally challenged. I can't believe how snappy it is. So, but with that said,
I have to ask, was Carla driving?
Yeah.
So you really had just time to,
Yeah.
You
to
could work
surf
the radio.
and get pissed?
I drove from Boston to New York. We stopped at the fabulous Vince Lombardi rest stop.
Hey!
You know you really have to pee
Yeah.
when you stop at the Vince Lombardi rest stop. And Carla picked up after that. So that's when I got into
Right.
listening to WNA. But then the wasteland, when you get down that New Jersey Turnpike and you're just listening to, I really think the Eagles need to, we really have to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, enough.
It's horrible. And I don't care that we got blown out by a sports station.
No.
This is such garbage. It's such garbage. I hate to say that, but it is. It just, listening to that, and I was going, all I want to do, let me know what the track is. Let me know where the winds are going to be. Just give me,
Some
even on
storm
your regular
coverage.
station, and then okay, Bill, I got a bing a bee, I got my little head, my darling, come in.
A lot of that?
Oh, just, music, stupid DJs, and,
Sports.
and tons of sports and ads. And that's it. And I'm like, I literally, and here, the scan feature could not give me any information for an hour and a half. Where I'm just cruising along, I just want to get some information. And really, when 99.1, our CBS station, came through, I was so relieved. And then I realized 99.1, as much as I criticize WTOP,
Yeah.
your level of suck, you've mastered
They've
suck.
found a way to be
What
worse.
they've done is they've...
Judlin Lilly, who was a cast-off from WTOP, and
Uh-huh.
you got this fossil coming in and doing this on the weekend show. I was just stunned at how bad it was. It was just so terrible.
using all their power to get number 2. That's what they are.
yeah, they're what are they, like 31st in the ratings or something like that?
Yeah,
It's
but
like
they got
31.
their eye on 30.
They got their eye on 30.
They can hope.
Yeah.
They say 30 isn't so bad when your format is ultra cheap to produce.
Right.
This is CBS.
How do the kids react to your inside radio?
They react
Crying.
to me. Well, between Carla and my two daughters,
Yeah.
in general, I never win.
How fast are you?
I never win at all.
On the car ride up, and it's 9 hours each way, and it's you and the
Yes.
two girls and Carla.
That's 9 hours with a stop for dinner.
How fast do you become the outsider in the car?
I was
They
just
link
the
up right
outsider.
away, right?
I finally said to Elizabeth, Elizabeth, please, no more looks like that. No more looks.
I can hear your looks.
We're sitting in my Nana, Nana's little assisted living dorm, and we're sitting there. She has an apartment, one beautiful one bedroom apartment.
We're in
Lovely
your
place.
mom's hostel.
We're in her commune. And I met a lot of the other hippies this week.
The other hippies.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, and at one time I was saying something to my mom, and Elizabeth went, "Oh." And I said,
boy.
what's the matter? I said, "Oh, I didn't know that." Oh. And then let me see if I can duplicate. This is for the you streamers. Let's sit up a little bit so I can duplicate the look that I got. I was saying, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to say that." And then she looked at Catherine, my mother, and her and Carla like this, and she went.
like WTF.
Yeah, indicating like in the 40s.
Like, Daddy's such a tard.
How does he even find his way to the bathroom?
I told her fine. I said, please don't give me
What
those
did
looks.
did you say?
They're withering. I don't even remember.
Oh.
It was
Doesn't
something
matter.
where I thought she hadn't heard me or she was dissing me.
Yeah.
So I said, what? Is there a problem?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I didn't hear you.
God.
It was very
Had to
difficult.
feel pretty good.
It felt great. Feel like a champ. Great. Feel like a champion. That's it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's Rob's Magic Audio Vault right after this. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. Time for Rob's Magic Audio Vault, brought to you by TryLendingTree.com. The leaves are falling, and so are mortgage rates.
I get it.
They're where they've been. And they've been this way for like 3 weeks, right? 4 weeks.
Something like that, yeah.
3.125%. You can save hundreds of dollars a month when you refinance through LendingTree. They ain't going anywhere.
No, do it now.
The rates are staying there. I think you have to assume at some point in our lives with the improving, although slightly improving numbers in the economy,
Right.
you will see these rates, go up
If
a little
they
bit.
move, there's only one way they can go, is up.
So go to trylendingtree.com, fill out one simple form, let over 200 lenders compete for your business. You will get up to 4 customized offers in just minutes, and it's free. Don't wait. Visit trylendingtree.com. That's TRY, lendingtree.com, and get a free mortgage guide when you enter the code TMOS. We love them. 866-291-2010. You'll be confident you got the best deal at trylendingtree.com.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.lendingtree.com for details. Lending Tree, NMLS, license number 1136, 1312 Village Creek Drive, Suite 900, Plano, Texas, 75093.
You don't know what this sound means? That sound means it's time for the audio ball.
You know what? Congratulations to the Giants.
Yes.
And I played this only because
Great game.
it was
That was
exciting. You
I'm
liked it?
sorry.
No, it was. It was a good
I
game.
tell you. But did you get the impression, Mark Ronick, only football fan in the room besides me, that the New York Giants
I watched
were,
the game.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole game?
By candlelight.
Yeah.
Hey, don't give me Elizabeth's look.
The Parka
Nah,
speaks.
Don't give-
WTF, dude.
Did you guys get the impression that the New York Giants, and I believe me, when I watch the Yankees and the Red Sox or the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys, the old familiar passionate football
Sure.
feelings come out of me. Did you get the impression that the Giants were doing their level best not to beat the Cowboys?
Well, in the second half, for sure.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, I thought it
ridiculous.
was over in the first half, and I turned back to the game. I was like, what?
They had it was field goal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they had all these opportunities to thump them, and they let Dallas back into the game. Almost at the very end, Dallas could have come back, and it was just a fingertip.
Yeah, how
just a
frustrating.
little fingertip.
Not enough.
So you got audio?
Well, I was actually referring to the World Series.
What do you mean?
San Francisco Giants.
Oh, the
San
Giants.
Francisco
See,
Giants.
yeah. See,
Oh,
that's,
see, you always said when you say, "Did you watch the Giants?"
You have to
Right.
specify.
That's-
I said,
got a room full of
congrat-
football
I said
players.
congratulations to the Giants.
Yeah, the New York Giants beat the Cowboys. It's a big
being a
deal.
real nail biter,
I
huh?
mean, that's right. Okay. well,
So,
that's
so
great.
the Giants. Let's listen to the World Series.
Okay, this is the final call, and I think you'll enjoy this because once again, Joe.
Congratulations to the San Francisco Giants.
Watch
Not to
this as
diminish
well?
it. Yeah, I watched every sporting game this weekend.
Every game on every
I
channel.
love
Oh, wait,
sports
can I
games.
say something? You know who was at the game?
Who?
Mr. Diaz.
RJ Diaz.
At the World Series?
At the World Series.
What, in San
Yesterday?
Francisco?
Yes.
He was in San Francisco?
Yeah, he texted me on Friday and said, guess where I'm
Jesus.
going. And he was supposed to be here, but Sandy has stopped him. He's sitting in Detroit right now.
Guess where I'm going? I'm going to declare bankruptcy.
His
Yes, I
national-
flew to a World Series game.
Way to go, RJ. Good for that savings account.
His national tour has been suspended for the storm.
Here is the last call of last night's World Series.
Giants trying to win their 7th World Championship in franchise history, their 2nd since moving to San Francisco.
Joe Buck loves to talk. Tim
Again,
McCarver
the
loves to
2-2
talk.
pitch. Got him looking, and the Giants have won it all.
Now, it's always exciting when a team wins the World Series, but that's not the reason I bring it up.
Can I just say one thing about Joe Buck?
Yes.
Joe Buck was he was so popular, and he is on a downward trajectory as a sportscaster. He's not a likable person. He really isn't.
Smug.
When he had his television
bastard.
show, after he had his ill-fated television show, I think it might have been on HBO.
It was called Buck You.
It was so horrible, and he just comes across as this kind of guy all the time.
The weird thing is he did a couple television commercials that kind of made fun of his smarminess.
Right.
But the way he is, it looked genuine. And it's like you can't
Yeah.
even make fun of someone
It
who's
didn't
that
work.
smarmy.
Don't like Joe Buck anymore. Don't know when it happened, but I don't like him anymore.
Best part of last night's game, not the victory, but was when they sang God Bless America. Did you hear the servicemen and women sing God Bless America?
Pretty amazing.
They're just, ugh.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her
And I love the troops.
through the night with
The lady is so strong, and the lady wants her harmony nice and
Right.
loud.
That's part of the problem.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, that's not even the best performance of God Bless America this weekend.
No?
Have you seen the video of Meatloaf at the Romney rally?
Oh, my God.
No, I have not.
This is great. And you really, I think that we all have our candidates that we want, but it's sort of a non-issue because now that Meatloaf has endorsed a candidate.
Let me
Yeah,
say
it's over
this.
now.
It's over.
When
Fat lady sing.
when a candidate gets an endorsement, can't he have his handlers go, That is really great.
That's terrific.
Thank you so much.
No, step
No,
off.
we don't need you.
Right.
We don't need you at the rally.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
So sorry.
I believe it's the country singers. Is it Big and Rich? Isn't there a
Yeah,
country band
yeah,
called Big?
yeah, yeah.
So they're singing "God Bless America," but Meade is there.
Oh.
Marvin Lee Day, and he's endorsed Mitt Romney.
What's his name?
Marvin Lee Day.
That's the three name.
He's a three name. Yes, that's if he were a serial killer.
Yeah.
Marvin Lee a day.
Is
And
Meatloaf.
here's Meatloaf helping out at the and this is not just like at a concert where people paid to see Meatloaf.
Right.
This is him at a Romney rally. I think you'll enjoy it.
Everybody sing, come on! America, God send his grace on
Here comes Meatloaf.
Vote Romney.
And the
Oh
funny
my
thing is,
God.
it might have been better if they just let Mitt sing.
know.
I like when Mitt sings.
I always look over at Oscar.
I do
'cause
too.
I know
Yeah.
Oscar's still undecided. Oscar will probably make his decision voting day.
Based on
and I
that.
believe right there, I believe that Mr. Obama just had a giant step towards his direction.
And you see, if Mitt had just kept the microphone, Mitt can sing, okay?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
Can I hear Meatloaf again? Please.
It's fun. Here it comes.
He's going to try.
This Meatloaf smells funny.
They asked John McCain about Meatloaf
Yes.
singing it,
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
love John. I really like John McCain.
What did he say?
The musician Meatloaf sung the America the Beautiful at a Romney rally yesterday and kind of ad-libbed a few things. Do you think they should change up the song sometimes?
Change the
musicians?
song or have someone who knows the words. Maybe either. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that you can say positive about Meatloaf's
What's that?
performance. Even though it was over the top and he's not really good singer, at least he didn't pass out.
Like last time.
Baby, baby, let me sleep on it.
So at least there's that.
Meatloaf.
Have you watched the Katie Couric talk show?
I have not.
That's on fire.
I heard my first clip that made me say maybe I should watch this. She had Rod Stewart on to discuss his biography.
Okay.
And asked him about the rumor about him getting his stomach pumped.
Oh my God! Really?
And that
What's
goes
the
way
rumor?
back. And you know, we
don't know
we
what the
alluded
rumor
to
is.
it.
Grade
as-
school.
that apparently he had spent some time in a room full of sailors.
Uh-huh.
Some
and-
men.
Oh, wow.
And he had
It resulted in
engaged
such a
an-
way.
in an act that would result in him needing to have his stomach pumped.
Because he was full.
I do remember
Too much milkshake?
I do remember
Right,
the phrase
right.
in high school. I think the rumor
Yeah, it's
was
gross.
11 ounces, and they always just dude, that's like a Coke can.
That's
So-
gross.
So anyway, but they actually Katie Couric asked him about it, and I kind of buy his reply.
Rod once needed to get his stomach pumped after an encounter with sailors at a gay bar in San Diego.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Just winding me up, aren't you? So this is actually what happened. I used to have this guy who worked for me. He was a gay publicist. He's dead now, so he won't be watching. And when I had to fire him because he did something terrible, which I won't go into. So he wanted revenge. So he started this rumor about me, you know, and it was horrible because my kids were at school, and so that is definitely not true.
Yeah, but it just kept going on, and it
Yeah,
became
yeah.
accepted, right?
No, it was never accepted. I mean, I was as heterosexual as they come.
There you go. And sometimes
You
twice.
know, incidentally, Rod Stewart, isn't that a little primer on how to deal with something
Perfectly,
like that?
head on.
Yeah.
You really
That's it.
want to know if you're denying something? Bam.
But
Address
then,
it.
Here's
but
the
then-
reason. This is what happened. I'm not really going to trash the other guy, but he's the guy
That's
that did it.
well handled. However, he does make bad decisions, like 3 albums of standards. But
Yeah.
you know, you do and you do. What
Yeah,
you can.
I hate the fact that Rod Stewart went down that road. I mean, when I listen to a Faces album from the old days,
So
good.
which really, with that
Face!
voice, with the voice that he's got, Rod Stewart can still be doing that kind of music.
You're right.
Don't know why
He doesn't.
That's sad.
Drama, Mike. High drama
Drama.
on NBC today, and I'll wind it up after this. But
All
I
right.
did want you to hear, I think her name is Erica Nozales.
Yeah.
And they had her, was she in the Outer Banks?
Yes. No, I think she was in Rehoboth.
She will identify where she is, Mike, because you know what problem is with the full moon? This is high tide!
Aaron, good morning, and welcome to High Tide on Rehoboth Beach. Surges 7 to 9 feet, and we just had a big push of a wave come through here. I want you to take a look at this. Rock.
Just so you know, all she is standing in front of the ocean
beach,
in the rain.
Right.
Yeah.
She's manufacturing all of this.
All the way up. This is our hotel, right here. Sandbags, lined, boarded up windows. Look at the rocks, guys.
Rocks!
They already came up to the doors.
She picks them
This
up
is our
and throws
hotel
them.
staff and management here that's been keeping us safe and warm with coffee and blankets. Everybody else is evacuated,
All right, calm
and they're
down.
sticking around to help.
But the award goes to, of
Shut
course,
up.
Megan McGrath.
Megan. Now I'm going to say I rarely say anything positive about Megan McGrath. Megan McGrath is excited, but no, Rob, not because of that.
Oh, okay.
She's excited in kind of a positive way.
Yeah.
She's not overhyping.
And she knows what
she
she's
just
doing.
She likes being out there.
But she did make the mistake of doing the man on the street interview with a guy named Keith, who says that we are not handling this well as a city, and we look like a little sucker city.
Now, we have seen people out and about. Among those out here this morning, Keith.
It's Keith.
You're a little upset that Metro is closed today. Your thoughts on that?
I kind of jumped the gun on it. It's only rain right now. You know, people got stuff they got to do. You know, it's like everybody can't get out here like me. I walk with the Lord. So
He walks with the Lord.
everybody can't get out here, you know. People got kids and stuff. What about the babysitters and what's, you know,
Yeah,
just
babysitters.
kind of jumped the gun. Maybe tomorrow when it hits, but just some rain. You know, make D.C. look like a little sucker city. You know?
All right, Keith, we'll let you
I didn't like
keep
Keith at the
walking, keep
beginning.
you
I liked
out of
him
the
at the
rain
end.
as long as possible. Take care. So some folks have...
So look at my
Rob.
teeth.
All right, so did you see this? Because this was right before we went on the air.
Okay, what?
And they went down to Megan McGrath, and she's down, I think, maybe in Alexandria, but I'm not sure where she is.
Yeah.
But she's on Man on the Street. And as she's doing the live shot, I S you not, a guy in gym shorts with no shirt on, jogging up the street with a horse's head on.
That's fantastic.
And it was
I
freaking
gotta find this.
hysterical.
That's awesome.
He's dry, and you knew it's going to be on YouTube.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
and you see him, and he's doing the funny jog as he's
Like
running
he's
up,
a horse?
and then he stops, and you see him, and he's kind of fiddling with his horse's
course,
head.
but you want it to
and then
look
he
good.
looks across the street to Megan, and he goes. and they zoom in on him, and he does the continued street
Did
run.
she handle
Might
it well?
be on YouTube already.
Did she handle it well?
Oh, they were. Everybody did.
That's
on Channel 4,
good,
they all
good.
handled it really well. It was
Good.
funny.
That's
All right,
good to
and we
hear.
close, of course, with Bill Maher's take on Frankenstorm.
Hey, have you heard about this storm? There is they're calling it a Frankenstorm. Could be the worst ever. A cold front. So what happens? A cold front from Canada and a low pressure from the hurricane are colliding with the hot air from Donald Trump. And creating... No, I know, but it's serious. The last time a storm this powerful hit Washington, John Boehner's makeup was lifted completely off its foundation. In fact, today, Mitt Romney advised that men should head for the shelters and women should remain in their binders. So...
That's your audio vault. Everybody be safe out there.
Thank you, Rob. We'll come back with Buzz and News right after this. Michael
Well, I
Harris.
love a rainy night. I love a rainy night.
Let me see, Mark.
I love to hear it watch the lightning when it lights up the sky.
Good pull. Mark is showing us the horse's head right now.
I'll put it on
So
Ustream.
very,
Good,
very
thank you.
funny. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Glad the guys all had the balls to come in here and do the show today. We will be putting one in the can later on, so you will have new programming tomorrow because we care. That's it. Anyway, the Rob's Audio Vault brought to you by, I mentioned that.
No, it's time for the news.
What's the news?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got completely sidetracked by the horse's
We
head.
all did.
You love masks.
It's a low pressure system.
Wow, that was a momentary
That
brain
happens.
glitch there. Take it away, Buzz Burbank.
Thank you, Mike. And the news today is brought to you by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. Smart Smoke has the nicotine you crave, but without the tar, odor, secondhand smoke, or carcinogens. With same-day shipping and a money-back guarantee, Smart Smoke is the smarter alternative to tobacco, and it costs 80% less than traditional tobacco products.
Thank you for the apple butter, Buzz.
You're very welcome.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
Can't
That's
wait.
good stuff. I went to an apple butter festival over the weekend. If you're a cigar lover, try the Belvedere from Smart Smoke, which lasts as long as 6 double Coronas. Tmos. To see all of their styles, flavors, and strengths, and to order your refills, just click the Smart Smoke ad on our website.
Mike, this just in. Carrie is home safely because the Leesburg outlet malls have been closed today.
No.
And they made her tape up the windows before she came home.
You know it's a bad storm when they close those outlet malls.
And not only that, but she bought wine, stuff for tacos, chips, French bread, root beer, potato skins, and buffalo nuggets. We are set.
String to the mailbox.
That's right.
Incidentally, and if you want to know where all that stuff is, it's near the Spiwax on 1010 Carbohydrate Lane.
At the corner of cholesterol and early death.
Okay, here it is by the numbers. Before it's over, 50 million people will be affected by the collision of Hurricane Sandy and 2 other weather systems. A winter storm from the west, a cold blast of air from the north. 10 million people may be without power, many of them for several days or longer. This hurricane, which is strengthening before it makes landfall tonight in New Jersey, is 1,000 miles wide.
It's
Looks
really,
like Chris Christie.
When you look at the satellite photos of this thing,
Right.
it truly, and you see circulation, 1,000 miles wide.
Right, yes.
I mean, it's like a hurricane that's that big. It truly is mind-boggling.
The windy center of the storm is 500 miles wide. It's causing ocean storm surges of up to 11 feet high, a wall of water headed for land. It packs winds of 85 miles an hour. It's already made its turn toward land. The center of the storm will pass through New Jersey, then up through Pennsylvania and New York, but it's wide enough to affect Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington.
I know it's nothing funny, but I do get. I just think it's odd, and it makes me smile when they say, "All right, the storm has turned left." I picture it's like, all right, okay, we've got now.
It had its
everybody,
blinker on.
Yeah, exactly. Turn the wheel. Turn the wheel.
And, as much as I love to slam weather forecasters, so far they are spot on.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about hurricanes moving at 14 miles an hour. It's pretty easy to keep an eye on
It's
them.
like the RJ Diaz of hurricanes.
But it is a relief, unlike the last big storm we had here, to have this kind of advance notice. Speaking just for our area, we are on the southern edge of the worst part of the hurricane's path. It will, expecting winds here of up to 70 miles an hour this evening and 4 to 8 inches of rain. As I mentioned earlier, for us, if you're listening, especially live, between 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. tonight and 2 a.m. will be the worst of the winds here.
Which to me, Buzz,
Right.
when the sun goes down and
Right.
you get that, that's just scarier.
It is, because
There's
you
something
can't see
nastier about that. It
what's
really
happening.
is.
And
But hopefully everybody will be hunkered down.
I had
by then.
to, don't use it. I'm tired of that phrase.
Hunker down.
Nobody hunker down. Just get ready.
All right.
I had to have a sit down with Robert. Robert was flipped out because,
Wow.
with all the news and stuff.
Elizabeth was scared.
Yeah, I said, buddy, we're safe. We're going to be okay. It's going to be wind.
Just give her
and
one
there's
of
gonna be
these.
rain.
If she...
Yeah, look at Elizabeth that way.
Dad, quit making that face.
Right.
A few miles to our east, they're looking at 8 to 12 inches of rain. To our west, several feet of snow. Forecast for parts of West Virginia, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Forecasters don't remember snow ever being part of a hurricane forecast before.
Wow.
Just about everything else but this podcast is closed. The federal government here is shut down. In New York, Wall Street is shut down, and 1/3 people are being evacuated.
I think we should point out the reason that I think probably we didn't talk about it, but the reason we're all here. We're broadcast guys.
Right.
And,
It's exciting,
we
man.
come from a broadcast background, and we knew that, overwhelming odds that power's probably going to be out tomorrow, and we can't do our show from here.
No.
Well-
we're not a radio station. We don't have generators, so we kind of wanted to come in and get it.
And also, there is a distinct advantage to the fact that probably one of us will be dead by Wednesday.
and as radio guys, we like to see what we can get away with.
Absolutely.
7,500 flights have been canceled here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, as well as trains and buses. That's 7,500 flights. The UN is closed. Broadway is closed. Atlantic City's
What?
casinos
Hold
are
it, what?
closed.
Broadway
is closed.
And the casinos in Atlantic City as well. And now you know why.
Sorry, Liza. Enough of that.
Yeah, colleges and universities closed as well. New York subways are closed because they're expected to fill with water, knocking out phone and internet lines they also carry. And because of that, the market could be closed for a couple of days because of that needed communication possibly being knocked out
Think
by
about
this.
the mole people in New York.
Yeah, the mole people that actually live in the subways.
They got to get out.
They're coming out now.
Get
those
to
are
a dermatologist.
And incidentally, that's not the real stuff. Those are those nooks and crannies that are probably going to, fill up with water.
Oh, and think of all the good filth that will be brought to the surface.
And let's Also, don't forget the mutants.
Oh, yeah. I never do.
And the zombies. We're expecting deadly flooding from the hurricane that has already killed 65 people in the Caribbean. President Obama has told governors they can have anything they need to deal with the storm and its aftermath, quoting him, "We are not going to get bogged down with a lot of rules."
You know, Governor Christie asked for a bakery.
I can't believe
need.
that a week ago Monday, I was standing on a farm in Haiti, talking to the guy that owns the farm when the first time I heard mention of a hurricane.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just blows me away. That
Get it?
All this time.
It just blows me away. Thank you. All right, shut up.
And you got wind of a hurricane then.
You thought it was a frozen drink?
Right.
For the record, Mitt Romney, who said in the primary debates he would do away with FEMA, now says the federal government should give all the help it can to states dealing with Hurricane Sandy, and that brings us back to politics. It's been said the election may come down to Ohio, and a new poll by newspapers there has the candidates tied at 49%, the president no longer holding the 5-point lead he had 5 weeks ago. But a new CNN...
I think, frankly, I think Ohio is going to go Romney. I thought Ohio was going to go Romney.
The governor of Ohio says he thinks that will happen. Other polls I'm looking at, including I think the CNN poll, have said that the independents are actually leaning toward Obama. So who knows?
You never know.
And
It's going to be everybody's got to vote.
Really, the point of this story, I'm going to hit about 3 polls here. So the first one says it's a dead tie. The second one, CNN poll, says the president still leads Romney by 4 points, even though that is within that poll's margin of error. And the latest poll of battleground states, Ohio and others, this one by Politico, has Obama leading in those states 49 to 48%. That's how close this thing is. Yeah. Newspapers have started making their choices. We'll focus on 2, a paper in a Republican state endorsing Obama and a paper in a Democratic state endorsing Romney. The Salt Lake City Tribune, the biggest paper in our most Republican state.
Do you still take the Trib?
Oh, every day.
Good.
The Salt Lake City Tribune says Mitt Romney has changed his position on almost everything too many times. They titled their endorsement Too Many Mitts. In Iowa, which is expected to go easily to Obama, the Des Moines Register has endorsed Romney, saying he has a better chance of working with Congress than does Obama. The last Republican presidential candidate endorsed by the Register was Richard Nixon, who eventually resigned in disgrace.
And he died.
And finally, a trio of odds and ends for you. In Belgrade, Serbia, a man has had a replica of his late wife's vagina carved into her headstone.
Wow.
He says it was her dying wish.
Wow.
In Murrieta, California, a man walked into a Bank of America and demanded money. He had no gun, so the tellers just ignored him. He was last seen walking toward a nearby Walgreens.
He should go to the cemetery, see that headstone.
We're used to hearing the word "for" on a golf course, but not shark. In San Juan Capistrano, California.
That's where the swallows go.
That's right. And not just swallows.
Right.
A 2-foot-long shark fell from the sky and landed close to the 12th tee of a golf course.
Shark!
It had puncture wounds, so it was apparently picked up and dropped by a bird. The shark was immediately placed in salt water and eventually released into the sea.
It lived?
It did.
Wow, shark!
Players at this golf course say they've seen other animals fall from the sky there before, but never a shark. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Shark!
Thank you, Buzz.
You
Thank
bet.
you guys for coming in today. Everybody stay safe in the hurricane. We really, our prayers do go out to you. And in lots of low-lying areas, and certainly if you have family and friends in coastal areas, as many people do, really our prayers do go out to you. I hope you'll weather this storm. Our show today was brought to you by the customized life-saving courses from Northern Virginia Community College. NVCC offers American Heart Association courses in Manassas, Loudoun, and Springfield. But they can also bring these courses to your business, and the courses can be tailored to your schedule, all in one day or spread out over several days. To get the life-saving training for your business, call April at 703-822-9040 and like them on Facebook at NBC AHA Training Center. Let your employees take a class to save a life. That's it. We'll be back with a new one tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Nervous, my dear?
This is risky business.
Not as risky as those curious operations of yours that so intrigued the European police. Yet, much more profitable. Restore the monster for me, and you shall have anything you wish. Have you mastered Dr. Frankenstein's notebook?
Let me get my hand on a scalpel again, and you shall see.
and about the brain. I don't want to repeat Frankenstein's mistake and revive a vicious, unmanageable brute. This time the monster must have no will of his own, no fiendish intellect to oppose his master.